Steve Fast with you on WJBC, and joining me is Michael Sandler. He is the founder of the Creative Learning Institute and is an ADD coach as well as an author. And ADD is something that I was shocked, Michael, to learn this statistic. 5% of children diagnosed with ADD, only 5% graduate from college. That really surprises me.
Yes, what happens is very few students with ADD actually will make it through grade school, junior high, and into high school to where they even begin college. Of those students who make it to college, the numbers go up significantly. But there are very few students with ADD who actually get that far with either their self-esteem still intact or with good enough grades or staying out of trouble enough that they're able to make it into college and succeed in college.
So how many students find unique and difficult challenges once they do make that transition? Perhaps they've been able to manage with ADD and kind of work through different techniques and have medication help them in high school, but there's a lot more structure in high school than there is in college.
Unfortunately, or fortunately so. And you hit the nail on the head. Most of the time, students who are successful in high school make it through the challenges or use their ADD to their advantage. For example, and I have ADD myself, I may not be able to focus on one thing at a time, but may be able to focus on many things well at the same time, or I may have trouble studying over a long period of time, but I can cram very well, which is very helpful in high school. But once you get to college, it's a different ballgame, as you're suggesting. And the majority of the time, it's somewhere in the first semester, usually around the 2-month mark, that things start piling up and we're unable to juggle all those balls successfully. And then when we came to school, we said, I know I can make it on my own now. I made it through high school successfully. We may not have even put the accommodations or the help in place or a safety net in place to catch us when we do fall. And then when we start to fall, we're in a lot of trouble.
Are there situations where there might be a student that is diagnosed and they actually get medication in that high school setting and they find that it helps them out, but it doesn't seem to be doing the trick when they get to college because maybe they were leaning on it a little bit too much or it did different things and they didn't have all the tools they needed?
That is one of the potential scenarios. If that's the case, it might be the wrong medication at the wrong dose. And again, I'm a coach rather than an MD, so I deal with more of the functional side of things. It could be significantly that they're being overwhelmed. They're bombarded with so much information from so many different directions that, sure, it helped them to concentrate and focus when they only had a few things coming at them at once. And now it's like drinking from a fire hose. But the most common scenario is actually the student who's on medication before they get to college who says, I don't need it anymore in college. I can make it on my own. And while there's some great alternatives to medication out there that can be as effective or more effective these days, what happens is they let go of the safety net, say they can do it on their own, and then they're inundated with this wall of water, this flood of information, and now they've just cut the safety net.
Well, and there are a lot of things that kids just get out of the habit of doing or don't do when they get into college because they just haven't had to build up those tools. And in particular, with dealing with ADD, one of them I didn't think of, and I was looking at this, is exercise. Exercise is something that perhaps if you're in school, you might be involved in sports or extracurriculars, or you might be in PE, and you are exercising fairly regularly. And that can help, I know, sometimes with people that have ADD. But when you get into college, it's a much different situation sometimes.
Yes, and hearkening back, I think it was an interview that you had yesterday talking a little bit about self-esteem. Exercise is very beneficial for ADD students for several reasons. One of those is it becomes the body armor that gives them that sense of success, of self-esteem that helps carry them through the difficult challenges. For instance, I've had students that were great at soccer, baseball, lacrosse, badminton, all these different sports in high school, and that was kind of their persona. It made them who they were, and it helped carry them through the difficult challenges. They got to college and they were told, it's time to buckle down, get serious, and study, and you can't play those sports anymore. And all of a sudden they felt completely lost, adrift, without a sense of who they were, and they really struggled to hold on to any rope to keep them going or give them a sense of identity and self-esteem. The exercise also helps from a chemical standpoint, which is why many students say, I don't have time to exercise in college. And I say, you don't have time not to exercise in college. Because when you're exercising, you're producing endorphins. You ever heard of a runner's high?
Oh yeah, and I would think that that's something that a lot of people don't think about when they're doing it. They don't realize that they're getting that kind of endorphin rush. They just know they like it or don't like it.
Absolutely. That endorphin rush, just as you call it, not only lasts during the exercise, but throughout the entire day. It helps regulate your brain chemistry. It helps calm you down, allow you to focus, allow you to concentrate. Especially important for an ADD student if you do it at the same time each day, say 20 to 30 minutes of aerobic activity, helps you to sleep each night. And when we're bombarded with things in 1,000 different directions, sleep and college rarely go together, so it's essential that we get that. So exercise can be as effective or more effective in many situations than medication in helping us focus, concentrate. We've all seen situations where we're looking at a computer screen and we're glazed eyes and we're not able to focus on what we're looking at. What happens with an ADD student is we have that even more frequently, but if we're exercising, the time that we're at the computer may be down, but we're able to focus more and have greater endurance when we are trying to focus.